Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to start with, I'm in my little grow house here, and I'm going to start by cleaning it out. I have a lot of plants down here that are needing to go into some soil, and I have a few things that are dead or dying that need some kind of care. So I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I'm just mainly going to be cleaning out this tunnel and getting it ready for some new plants and covering my my mulberry trees. I have a couple of young mulberry trees. I'm going to try to get 2 of them covered today so that I can get fruit off of them, because the crows and other birds have found my trees. And so hopefully you'll stick around and come on this journey with me today, and I'll tell you a little bit here and there about different things that's going on. But for the most part, I'm just going to be working because I am so behind, and I need to get a lot of things into soil so that we'll have a lot of things to eat during the winter season. Okay, to give you some idea what I'm doing, this was my worm bin, and because we've been receiving so much rain, it has just turned into a stinky mess, and I've lost most of my worms. But there's still some good organic matter in there. So what I'm trying to do is move what's left of this into this bin. And it will take a few weeks to right itself, but this will become a worm bed. And the best thing about it is, unlike the tackle box that I had them in, I either didn't put enough holes, or because it was sitting on the ground, it was not releasing the water as quickly as possible. But this will, because it is on the ground, and if the worms need to, they can go down deep into the earth as far as they need to survive. But they will come back up because they will have food and nourishment inside this box. And over the course of time, this will be a system that I use for starting new plants, because I'll have good compost. But it'll also be a place that I can go to get worms for my chickens to keep the protein levels up. My intent this year, well, for the remainder of this year, is to try and become more self-sufficient in the food that I have for my chickens and other animals as I get them. The garden takes care of the greenery and things like that, but I need to be sure that I can keep the protein levels high. So I'm hoping I will achieve this by creating this worm bin inside of the little tunnel, and also it will hopefully give me access to not only worms for my chickens, but compost for planting and compost for planting and adding organic material to the top layer of my garden beds. So that's what I'm doing here. And after I finish that, I'm going to continue to add shelving around the sides. Last year I used this, and I would sit the pots inside the holes, but it didn't work as good as I thought it would. So I've started taking chicken wire and little pieces of wood and creating shelves inside of here, because I'm not a carpenter, but it's enough to have somewhere to sit my plants. And I have put a few, this is an old shoe rack, and I covered the bottom of it with a little hardware cloth too here to hold the pots on. And so I'm basically just trying to improve this system. Normally this is where I store plants for the winter, and I need to make it more efficient. So as we come around this way, it's a mess, but these are a lot of plants that are still viable. I either need to get them in the ground or pot them up, but I will continue this shelving all around the inside. And I need to get this is a Cavendish banana plant that I need to get in the ground somewhere, because it has totally outgrown its pot. As you can see, it's busting out of the pot down there. So I need to get it potted up too. Well, into the ground. I'm not going to pot it up. I'm going to put it into the ground and treat it like all the other banana trees. At this point, I'm focusing on things that survive without me having to struggle to keep them alive. So, but that's what I'm doing in here today. So I'm going to sit the camera back down and finish filling this bin in. Most of what didn't break down is the eggshells that I had in there. And like I said, most of the worms either left or drowned because I was not aware that it was holding so much water. But I'm sure there are a few still in there. I've seen one or two since I've been moving it.